Hey there, welcome to Humanstein. I'm Humanstein. Or put another way, hi, I'm Nathan, and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, Humanstein. You might know me from elsewhere on the internet, where I'm also conveniently called Humanstein. Perhaps you know me from my website, where I write about film, take junk food way too seriously, and pine nostalgically for old movie tie-in hamburgers. Or you might know me from Twitter, where my posts vary wildly between arguably pretentious film theory, clearly pretentious pop culture and political discourse, memes, and truly egregious shitposts. Or perhaps, thanks to the arcane machinations of the algorithm, this is the first time we're running into each other. But regardless of how you got here, I thought it might be good to introduce myself and give you a rundown of what you can expect from this YouTube channel. Like I said, my name is Nathan and I go by Humanstein just about everywhere on the internet. Humanstein started as a nickname, it's based off of Frankenstein, and has now become a sort of mononym. A little background on me. I've been extremely online for far too long. I first joined Twitter right after I graduated high school and made a wildly unsuccessful attempt to break into Weird Twitter. Rest in peace, Fave Star. Then came the wild world of horror Twitter. And from there, I spun up a website, started cutting my teeth in the broader world of film writing, being featured on websites like Bloody Disgusting, Daily Grindhouse. I've had some, cool stuff featured on like Slash Film and stuff like that as well. But it's been a mixed bag in terms of success, and maybe we'll talk about that someday. But over the years, I've been taking film more and more seriously, devouring film theory, watching as many movies as I can get my hands on, and now, of course, I am an aspiring filmmaker myself. But the pandemic has complicated that somewhat, and that brings us to today, the birth of Humanstein on YouTube. I've kind of resisted starting a YouTube channel or a podcast because as an excessively opinionated man on the internet, doing so has kind of felt like giving into something basal and frankly egocentric. It felt like something that I was going to end up doing rather than something I wanted to do. But clearly, I've gotten past that. Well, sort of. A confession. While that's true, the truth is that I've always lacked that big idea. What I needed was a grand unifying vision for what this kind of project would be. I'm very much the kind of person who fears failure enough to not attempt things that I want to do for fear of not being sufficiently prepared to succeed at them. And so without a spark or something to make this project different than every other internet vanity project I'd attempted, I'd surely fail. So I haven't tried. Because if I don't try, then hey, I can't fail. Which is not exactly the most helpful mindset to have if you want to become a film critic or a film director or a YouTuber or just about any creative endeavor, really. Then the pandemic came and it's given me a lot of time to think and reflect. At the time of filming this video, I haven't left the house for any non-utilitarian function in 143 days. So to say I've had a lot of time for it is not an overstatement. And frankly, it also gave me an epiphany of sorts. The thing I'm most passionate about in film and film culture is the way it can enrich our worldviews, and the fact that film can serve as a vessel for weighty, heady ideas that we might otherwise not be exposed to. From the most intimate personal issues impacting a single individual, to the most wide-ranging political and social issues that touch all of our lives. In the words of the late great Roger Ebert, movies are the most powerful empathy machine in all the arts. When I go to a great movie, I can live somebody else's life for a while. I can walk in somebody else's shoes. I can see what it feels like to be a different gender, a different race, a different economic class, to live in a different time, to have a different belief. This is a liberalizing influence on me. It gives me a broader mind. It helps me to join my family of men and women on this planet. It helps me to identify with them, so I'm not just stuck being myself day after day. The great movies enlarge us. They civilize us. They make us more decent people. That's always been one of my favorite quotes about film, and frankly, I think I can help other people take those complex, weighty ideas and break them down into understandable morsels. Whether digesting those will result in an extra drop of Ebert's empathy, or just an understanding of a piece of political or philosophical text or subtext that you maybe never noticed in a favorite film, comic, or TV show. What I want to do, and what I hope this channel will enable me to do, is to help other people broaden their own understanding of film, and by extension the world around us, by helping us all develop the tools to engage with philosophy, political theory, and the big ideas that are often found in our media in a deeper way than what the knee-jerk, surface-level manner that our hot-take-driven social media landscape and our blockbuster, behemoth, fandom-driven pop culture language have generally prepared us to do. My hope is that by helping my fellow film lovers and pop culture fanatics do that, I can be a tiny force for good in the world. Whether or not I'm doing my best to make the world a better place is frankly something that's been weighing on me for a long time, but especially as our current moment in history is shining more light on just how chaotic and unfair the world can be. And while it may seem a little silly, this is an avenue through which I feel like I can do that, by taking my skill set and my passions and trying to put them to good use. I hope I can use these tools to enrich our world and help other people grow, even if just a little bit. In short, the name of the game is encouraging media literacy and media enrichment. That's the grand unifying theory at the heart of this channel. So at last I had it, right? Also, I had the requisite nearly endless and forever unspooling pool of time through which to work on that kind of project. I plan to do this by producing a variety of different shows on this YouTube channel. I've actually got a lot of ideas about how to shape this space, probably more than is really advisable at this point in the game. But to get you acquainted with what the channel's going to be, here's a breakdown of what I currently have planned. The first series on the docket is Movies for the Moment. In this regular bite-sized series, I'll make a handful of movie recommendations for films that are well suited for the moment and explain why I feel that way. Whether these are films that embody or speak to a season or a time or a political or social idea that's currently in focus, or one that I hope to bring into the focus, or films that just might help us get more enjoyment out of the world. These are going to be curated films that I think can help us make sense of or experience the moment we find ourselves in more fully. My goal is to have them always be spoiler-free, and to include links to where they can be watched or purchased in the description to make the process as painless as possible if you do decide to follow my advice. And the next series on the docket will be The Politics of. Now, something I should get out of the way is a simple maxim that exists very close to the core of this channel. All art is political. If you don't agree with that, or if that offends you, please just move on. We'll both be happier, right? But in the words of George Orwell, a profoundly misunderstood Western author of some renown, that's a whole nother video, the opinion that art should have nothing to do with politics is itself a political attitude. We are, like it or not, embroiled in a culture war, and the battlefield on which that war is often waged is the pop culture and media landscape. From the overtly political to the intentionally not. The Politics of will seek to tease out and examine the political and social ideas present in the text of a work, available to consumers of that work metatextually, and how those ideas intersect both in terms of their place in their medium, their relations to other works, and the impact that those socio-political ideas can and do have on our lives. I'm also working on another format that will take a look at the week that was through pop culture and entertainment stories and how it got that way, dragging some of those ideas into the spotlight for a little bit deeper dive. And another major focus of this channel will be long-form video essays and short documentaries covering a wide range of topics including pop culture, political theory, and frankly whatever gets my creative energies flowing. I'm still kind of sussing out precisely how these will look and sound, but I intend to treat my humble YouTube videos with all the care that a stunted but fledgling filmmaker can muster. And after all that spiel, which is hopefully not nearly as long as it feels right now, you should have a pretty good idea of what you'll be getting into if you choose to follow along, and my sincere hope is that you will. As time goes on and I get the hang of things a little better, I hope to figure out a consistent release schedule and expand the channel in a number of interesting different directions. But for today, I wanted to hit the ground running. Hopefully putting all of this out there makes it a little easier for me to follow through on these ideas, and with that, I'm Humanstein. Thank you for watching.